Okay, so essay 8. Let's draw a picture. We have a ball of radius 7 centered at the origin, and so it's the boundary of the ball then is a sphere of radius 7. I like that. And then let's see, now at the point 2, -3, -6, well, that's a point down on the back surface of the sphere there. Something like that. Oh, wait a second. Well, anyway, it's a point down sort of in the bottom part of the sphere. The unit normal vector is -2/7, 3/7, 6/7. Okay, well, let's talk about this point first of all. And I know that there's only two possibilities for what the unit normal vector might be. The unit normal vector is either that vector or it's that vector. It's either pointing exactly toward the origin or it's pointing exactly away from the origin. And in fact, it's got to be a unit vector, and clearly it's got in fact to be parallel to the position vector for that point. In fact, I claim that this unit normal vector has to be either plus or minus, and I don't know which one. It's going to have to be either plus or minus x divided by the length of x. Does that make sense? Yeah. Okay. Well, I know what the position vector for this point is 2, 3, -6. Oh, yeah, so let's look at what is the length of 2, -3, -6. And this is one of my favorite little trios of numbers because the length of this vector is 7. So you can Pythagorean formula work it out. It adds up to 49. It's kind of cool. Okay, so so said differently, the normal vector is plus or minus one or the other x over 7. So now what we have is that in this case, the normal vector is given as -2/7, 3/7, 6/7, and that is plus or minus, still not exactly sure which one it is though, but it's plus or minus position vector 2, -3, -6 over 7. And, well, golly, I mean, I can just look and see that, well, positive, negative, 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 positive, positive. These two things are clearly negatives of each other. So I do know which one that is. Does that make sense? Okay. So what that means is that I know that this is the negative. So that means that the normal vector is negative x over the length of x, which means this is an inward normal vector. Does that make sense? Is everybody good? Okay. All right, so let's go back to the statement of the problem. We've got a ball, solid ball there, and it's got a boundary surface. Boundary of the ball there is the surface. And the boundary is oriented inward. Well, so there's two possibilities that we have to consider. I mean, we're trying to figure out the orientation on the solid itself, whether it's a positive or a negative. If B were oriented positively, its boundary would have to have an outward orientation. And it doesn't. The boundary has an inward orientation, so therefore this ball has to have a negative orientation. Does that make sense? Okay. Does it make sense to everybody else? Okay. Okay. All right.